Attention on attention is a quite interesting phenomenon because you have to have attention on what you're doing and attention on attention. This is called conscious doing. So, for example, you're walking the dog, you're doing, right? But at the same time, you have attention on that attention of you of what you're doing. So that may result in a peaceful state because without attention on attention, you're doing something and your attention is usually in the upper room of your physical body, the upper room of the building, let's call it. The attention is always up here. So when you shift that attention from there, say for example to your breathing or the inner aliveness of your body, it's no longer a pull of thoughts, a pull of the stream of thinking continuously. There's now calmness, attention on attention. You may recognize that you're breathing. You may feel the energy flow through your hands because now you're doing something, but you also have your attention on your attention. So even here together now, as we're doing this and realizing this, and you're listening to this, you can be listening and at the same time have your attention on your attention of your listening, if you will. You can even look around and notice the beautiful purple flower over there that I see, and at the same time be attentive of your attention. It's like a deep focus. I really call it conscious awareness because you're conscious of your state of consciousness. You're conscious of your awareness. So that leaves little room for the mind to take over because you'll be conscious of it. It leaves little room for your mind to take over and bring you into resistance and frustration and anger because you'll be aware of it. So if you're suffering from anxiety, frustration, occasional anger, occasional sadness, occasional depression, if you align yourself with that state of conscious awareness where you're aware of what your mind is doing, you're conscious of your state of consciousness, you're conscious of your thought process, you're conscious of your emotional process, then there's no space for resistance, anxiety, because again, you're conscious of it. And those type of things, anxiety and stress and anger, they don't want to be acknowledged. For example, you see someone in complete anger, they're enraged, and you say, I don't say this to anyone, but you see them enraged, don't please. you don't know what would happen. But you say, for example, you say, would you like to step out of that rage and don't tell me you or the most famous thing is don't tell when someone's angry, don't tell them to calm down. I hear that a lot too. And ultimately we say that because at that point the mind or the ego has completely taken over that person's mind. Those thoughts have taken over them and they do not want to be acknowledged. They just want to live and thrive and continue to pull that person through that wave of unconscious behavior. So I assume if you're watching this, you're done with that. You're tired of that. You would like to step out of that. You have already stepped out of it if you're even still here watching. So don't do that to the person who's angry, but acknowledge it in yourself. When there's something that comes up and you notice some resistance arising in you, oh, go back to bring that attention on that attention. Be conscious of that resistance. Take a breath or feel your hands, the inner aliveness. All of these are anchors or tools that you can use to realign yourself with the state of consciousness that ultimately reveals ease to human beings or to us. So don't be afraid to step out of or to bring attention to that resistance. Bring attention to that anxiety. Bring attention to that depression. Because it cannot live with your attention on it, with your awareness being aware of it. It is only when you can't see that your thought process is taking over. When you can't see that, the thought process can take over and cause depression, anxiety, stress, and so on. So attention on attention while doing things. Seems quite simple. But I always suggest that you don't wait until some kind of situation that you don't desire comes up and then you say, okay, I'm going to practice attention on attention here. That makes it a little harder for you. It's a good practice. I've done it. Had a person hit me on the car. They hit the car. And at that time, I think I wasn't acutely aware. I may have been talking. I think I was talking to someone in the car with me. And then when it happened, I felt a energy surge in the solar plexus area, just like throbbing. And it seems, of course, I knew to step out of the stream of thinking almost immediately and go into breathing. And my attention went to my attention. So I was aware of the energy fluctuation in my body. And a few conscious breaths I took as I was getting out of the car to go speak to them. And they were already enraged, saying that it was my fault. Yes, okay. I continued to ask them, how were they? How are they doing? Are they okay? And gradually, that energy for me became more calm. And it shared itself with the other person because I didn't give them the energy that unconscious state was looking for, which was anger back at them. So ultimately, they became more at ease too. It was magnificent. I had never experienced anything like that. But it showed me that it's possible to share that state of consciousness. You see, I'm sharing it here with other people and even transmit it to them, even in a situation that is conventionally driven by resistance and anger, a car accident. It's quite wonderful. But practice it doing small things. Picking up the glass, looking at the flower, and still being aware of your attention. Walking across the grass, walking up the stairs, being aware of your attention, because then that ultimately, we can say it teaches the mind to stay out of it when situations happen, and allows that deep intelligence to function through you more genuinely. So I even I create little scenarios, so to speak. Um, for example, let's say, uh, well, I guess the scenarios kind of happen. I bump my toe on something, let's say, and I can go into the resistance of wanting that to happen, or I can just deeply accept that it happened already, send my attention over to my breathing and the energy field of my body, and accept that it had happened already, even if it's something as small as that. But even when bigger things happen, now it becomes a natural state of being for you, and you don't really get taken over by the unconscious stream of thinking. Thank you.